Hey, it's me, Jack from Beastars. I just wanted to warn you, there's going to be some spoilers for the Beastars manga, a Gretzko, and also probably a little bit of swearing. So if that's not your cup of tea, I just wanted you to be warned. Oh, you want to know what kind of swearing? Oh, okay. Well, here's every single curse word we're going to say. I'm sorry? I'm being told that I'm not supposed to do that. Okay. I'll get in a lot of trouble? Uh-huh. Okay. No treats. And you're sure? No treats? Okay, yeah, Anyway, never mind. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Cherryton Podcast, featuring me, Werewolf, wquiz,
Hello.
Maya Amano,
I am here.
and special guest Ben Diskin.
That's me. Hey.
We are also joined by Jake Silent,
Hey yo.
Orion Venator,
Hello.
and Sid Spook.
Hi, hello.
Let's talk about the new chapter, which will have Juno simps going absolutely crazy. We start with Juno just outright saying that Louis will kiss her. Then that's kind of what the entire thing is based off of. I don't think they actually do it in the end, which is kind of sad. And then Juno leaves, and that's it.
And that's the worst.
Yep.
We local wolf girl does end up having OO, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And we see Goheen, which is nice.
Oh yeah, he was on the phone.
Hopefully that's not the last time we see him.
Imagine if it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be very sad.
It probably is.
He looks
It
very
probably
mad.
will be. Oh, and look, on the very bottom, you can see Project Cherryton, the hybrid
That's
movie
awesome.
scans.
Mm-hmm.
Listeners, if you're not already subscribed, go to Manga Dex, find this page, and then follow the link to subscribe.
Or, yeah.
We're just sub here.
You know, I
Okay.
actually want to see a Jack recap because, like, when was the last time Jack was truly like in the manga?
Oh, that was a while
was it
ago.
182?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was,
know.
Was it-
wasn't the
Onion?
Onions thing, was it?
Yeah, I think it was the Onions thing.
Wow.
Was
Boy,
it?
that's
Yeah.
That was
sad.
it?
Yeah.
That is sad.
It
It
was
is
not
sad.
182.
So I guess, spoiler alert, he doesn't eat them, and that's the end of his character.
Yeah, we see him hit rock bottom. Now we'll never see him come back up.
Nope.
Watch as he becomes a politician or something.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey, I mean, we
Um,
managed to
oh
call
boy.
that Beastars would be ending back in episode 1, so who knows?
See, Jack needs
Yeah,
to meet
who
the whale.
knows?
That's like his character arc.
What, Jake?
whale.
I said Jack needs to meet the whale. That's like his character arc.
Oh, yeah. He learns all about him and then never ends up meeting the whale.
Oh, yeah, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about that whale, huh?
What about
Eat
Mr.
fish.
Fish
I
Sausage
feel like
Dip?
half of this manga is just propaganda for ethical fishing.
Okay.
The cod population is low enough as it is.
Wow. Okay.
I'm all I'm gonna say is about all the stuff we're wrapping up near the end. Everything is feeling rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Just a bit.
It
You can
feels
feel the
like
crunch, yeah.
it feels like Haru had a much bigger story in mind, and then the manga, the Weekend Show and Champions, like, no, you only have this much. You gotta rush this. You gotta get this finished by this.
Yeah, it's hard to say if it's like self-imposed because she wants to do other
Or-
stuff.
yeah,
if
That's
it's,
possible, yeah.
Who knows?
It could be that she feels like she is personally running out of ideas and might not be able to do it while keeping people happy.
I don't know.
I
I
see
mean, I
that.
feel like there's plenty. The world is very complex, and there's just plenty of stuff to talk about. It does feel like this is just sort of being shut on her rather than because of her.
Maybe.
I'm feeling it might turn into a grappler Baki situation.
Hmm.
The manga made by her father. How that happened is the series is still continuing on, but they stopped one series and then they continued on with another one with a different name.
Hmm.
And that
So
was-
it's like what Beastars used to be before Beastars. What was
Right.
the one manga?
Beast Complex.
Beast
Beast
Complex.
Complex. Yes,
Beast
it's Beast Complex situation, but
Yes,
sounds like
Beast
something
Complex
part
has
3
ended.
Electric Jubilee.
Dang.
Wow, that's a new one. Never heard that before.
You know, if this manga doesn't end with Legoshi and Louis saying that they're going to become the Beastars, then I will riot.
Yeah, that seems like
Oh,
it
yeah.
really should at least give us that.
I
Yeah.
won't
Yeah.
riot. I'll just cry.
Feels
Watch
like
the-
every one of them has grown up and sort of stopped chasing after their dreams and ambitions as much and figuring out what the hell they're supposed to do. In my eyes, at
Except
least.
for Bill. No,
Except for Bill, yes.
Bill will never be mature.
Hey,
Watch-
he
watch-
has a child now.
He is
Watch-
still a trash feline.
Trash
Yes.
cat.
Watch
Loves
the
me.
ending. Watch the ending be like, no, I'm gonna go be with Louis and we're gonna become Beastars and we're gonna be a gay couple.
That would... Yeah.
Well,
There's
It'd be
many
interesting.
signs
Shoehorned,
pointing
honestly.
towards it.
That'd be so unreasonable to explain in one single chapter.
Yeah.
He's already been in me. Now I need to be in him.
So, anyways, we see the Shishigumi in this chapter too.
Wait, you do?
Yeah, we do. 12, page 12. There's like a tiny little tidbit where they're all in
yeah.
prison, and it's sad.
oh, they're in prison. I missed that.
And they're like, hire me or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, hire me, president.
Yeah.
It's very,
Senpai, give me a job, please.
it's very sad.
I feel like he's gonna let him out of prison.
They
I
don't
feel like
seem
he's
sad. They
gonna-
seem actually pretty
kinda
happy.
stoked, honestly.
Yeah. Like,
Freeze
yeah,
all of them
remember us?
fine, even though he's got like a speaker to talk through.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
Louis be looking very dapper in these clothes.
Extremely.
I like this lad.
He's got his daddy's money now.
You can actually see the prosthetic no longer has its own shoe. It's just sort of there in this
Yeah.
few scenes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. I'll post it in the text channel.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in the Shishigumi thing, it's just that.
You can even
I don't
see
know,
that
weird
one
design.
leg is thinner than the other because of it, and I think that honestly, a lot of Paru's anatomy is extremely underappreciated in my eyes.
Oh yeah.
Well, again, why didn't she make the pants thinner on Legom? Legom's legs are fucking sticks. She is a chicken.
Bum,
doesn't
bum,
deserve to
bum,
be that
ba-dum,
thick.
ba-da-da-da-dum.
No, but you know those
Oh, yeah.
thighs, though. Man, part of that delicious El Pollo Loco meal. Mm.
Yeah,
Also,
chicken thighs.
The mean potential of like page 18, Louis.
Let me...
He's looking at his
He's
hand.
looking at his
Oh,
hand.
yeah. Well, there's already funny edits of that one.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, at the
Right,
bottom.
Sheeb's here.
Is there any
Yeah.
on the bottom? No. Yes.
Yo, Sheep's here. Let him in.
Yes, no,
Yo,
yes.
she is here.
Wow.
No.
Welcome,
was here.
Sheeb.
Hello,
Oh,
Sheeb.
Welcome.
Hi, Sheeb. Welcome to the podcast. Meet Ben Diskin.
Hey,
Oh, I'm Push Your Talk. Sorry. What's up?
Yeah, that's-
Sheeb, welcome.
What's poppin', buddy?
It's cool to have you here, man.
Woo woo.
Tell me
So,
about the new chapter.
Anything else we want to talk about with this chapter or anything related to it?
Azuki is
Um,
Okay, it's kind of a
the-
small chapter.
Yeah,
Just
it is
what
pretty
It's
small.
yeah. At least they didn't spend 17 pages on Zagwan.
At least the dough woman is extremely honest with him about how the love is for the Horns conglomerate, not for you.
That was the arrangement from the start.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she doesn't like try to play it up or anything for the sake of, oh, I'm gonna milk him for money or anything like that. No, it's just business.
I mean,
Yeah.
Louis did throw up when they were about to
Yeah.
do the deed.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still cool
So,
with him,
like,
so that-
any romantic interest there was gone from the start, gone from the
Mm.
beginning.
I mean, Louis was a teenager. It could have
True.
just easily been explained away as, oh, teenager nerves, haha.
Yes. of
Yeah.
It's kind of
course.
sad, to be honest.
I kind of picture her sounding like somebody from like a Fantastic Mr. Fox with that sort of like, yeah, I'm just saying words like this kind of like mentality. She just all of
yeah.
her facial expressions are just like, I'm here for the conglomerate. I'm not for you.
Remember
Okay.
Finico from Agretzko?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of thing.
Oh,
Speaking of which,
Oh,
for
the
those
Horns
for those
Conglomerate.
watching and listening, this will include both spoilers for Beastars and Agretzko and Brand New Animal and like everything else.
And
You've been
New Kids
warned.
Next
Pretty
Door.
much anything
and
Ben Diskin is
everything.
in, we're possibly going to spoil. That
Possibly
includes
even Muppet Babies.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my
Especially,
God.
boy, the season 3 finale where they all like explode. That's gonna be real.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
I am joking. Disney, if you're listening, I'm kidding.
For
Please
legal
don't fire.
reasons.
I think
The great Disney overlords have heard your pleas and have accepted them.
Yo, guys, I mean, I'm followed by Disney PR, so I do have to be kind of careful.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cut that from the podcast.
just I just look past Ben and his publicist is like nodding angrily.
Just like punching his hand. Just
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Your publicist clicks a pen and just a knife comes out of it.
Oh god.
Anyway, guys, thanks for having me on the show. Oh, God. You better not screw this up, Diskin. Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
Gorsh.
My Lord and Savior. I'm so sorry. Anyway.
So,
Yeah.
hello, well, everyone, we have taken some of your questions, because of the Google document and the Google form and stuff. So, the first one does not actually have a name that comes with it, and it will be actually no, it does have a name. It's Jack,
Oh.
and Jack wants to know: will you ever do VR chat with Jonah?
Yeah, well, here's a question that maybe you guys on this stream can answer. What do you need for VR chat? Like, equipment-wise? Do you actually need VR?
Well,
You technically
no.
don't need a VR.
No, you don't
Yeah.
need a VR headset.
you technically don't, but for the most optimal thing, you need a VR headset, but you can still play it by a desktop.
And you can just
Okay.
use your keys for like hand gestures and everything, even though it's a little bit clunky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe then. The answer might be for Jack is maybe. I don't know. It depends on how much time I have, and my time is kinda sorta limited these days, so I don't know if I really
of
be able
course.
to get into that. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know
of
that there's a
course.
Lugosi model in VR chat. I wonder if there's like a Jack or like a Haida.
Something
Most
usually
like
there
likely,
is.
most likely one exists.
Yeah.
there's already a Shiro.
Knowing
yeah,
the
I could probably
community.
just grab
Oh yeah,
that.
sure.
Yeah.
I know someone's making a Jack model. I don't know if it's.
I'm
for
pretty sure there
VR,
might
but-
be a Haida model as well.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well,
All right,
next
Google.
question. The next question is from someone named Terry. It says,
This is
"Hello,
Terry.
Ben. My name is Terry, and I have a question. Before you got the role of Jack, did you know about Beastars beforehand?"
Hi, Terry. Yes, I did know because I am sort of a beacon for furries on the internet, and all of them were telling me about this.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God, you have to read this." I'm like, "What? I don't know. I'm not a big manga guy. I don't really read very much manga at all." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll all right, just to satisfy some people, so I can say, yeah, I've seen it. I'll read through a little bit of it." And I was like, "Oh, this is pretty okay. Actually, this is really cool. You know what? Oh, okay, I'm down." And so I have definitely heard of it before joining the show officially. I'm constantly up to date on the latest issue. So yes, I have.
All right.
Phoenix Echoes asks, "Hi Ben, do you record on a full or empty stomach? Thank you."
I was not expecting that question. Usually I record, I guess, on an empty stomach because I subsist mostly on coffee. And also like, I'd say usually it's an empty stomach because I am dumb and I should probably eat instead, so I don't get the right in the middle of
Yeah.
a line.
Okay. Next question. This is going to be a very controversial thing.
Ooh.
Okay.
From Zev, what's your opinion about pineapple on pizza?
Oh my God. Well,
It said this is going to be
I-
controversial.
Yeah, boy, this is. Jeez, yeah, boy, right into it, huh? Okay. I'm gonna say it is fine. It's not something I look for actively, but when I have it, I am able to eat it, and I'm just fine with it.
Yes!
So I'm fine.
He has eaten the forbidden fruit.
Yeah. The literal fruit. Yeah, it's good. It's fine, but
I
it's
am
not
pro
something
pineapple.
I need.
I am very
That's-
pro
yeah.
pineapple, so that's why I had that exclamation.
Pro pineapple.
Deputy
can
Quiz,
tell.
you want to do this next one?
I'll do it. This is from Chromayote on Twitter. The question.
No,
is-
no, 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 no.
Wait.
No.
Oh, poop! I skipped one. All right. Their name is Ash.
Okay.
It rhymes with trash. They said it, not me. How much would they have to pay you to grow your hair out and then get an ugly haircut like Lorenz?
Wow. Well, Ash, the trash. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know that you really could. I can never grow my hair long. It just grows thick, and then it just gets messy and tangled, and that's it. So I don't even know if I could do that. But you know what? I would say $100 if it's possible. $100, and yes, I'll grow my hair out stupid long and then get a dumb haircut like Lauren's.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I'll take
That's a
the
pretty
next.
good deal right there.
That's a pretty low price.
Yeah.
All right, Ash, you
I'll go
heard
to it.
the man.
All right, I'll take this one.
Got it from us
This
first,
one's
Ed.
from someone with the username of Chroma Yote. And their question is, how do you not get embarrassed when voice acting? And in parentheses, sorry if this sounds kind of dumb.
Oh, no, it's not dumb at all. Basically, any form of acting is you have to get comfortable with making a complete idiot out of yourself. It's everybody does it, and it's usually the most helpful thing if you can do the stupidest thing regarding like characters. Like, I did this show a while ago called Hulk and the Agents of Smash. It's based on the Incredible Hulk, and one of the cast members on it was somebody who just simply doesn't do a lot of voiceover. And at first, they were kind of like, I don't want to say they were like making fun of myself, and as well as Fred Tatasciore, the voice of the Hulk, and all those guys, but they were kind of like, wow, you guys really get into it when you do this stuff, because like when Fred's doing the Hulk, it's not just him standing still and making these sounds. It's him like pretending that he's this enormous muscle-bound thing and stomping around and roaring into the microphone.
As you
And
do.
Of course, because that's like the best way to act.
exactly. And it's like, that's what you have to do. You have to be willing to kind of make a fool out of yourself, because you have to throw away that side of you that says, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing, and embrace the stupid, basically. Embrace the side of you that's like, okay, I know I'm going to look like an idiot, but you know what? I'm going to get a really great performance because of that stupid position that I'm in, whatever that is, and I'm going to do it. So it's basically, yes, constantly make an idiot out of yourself. It is the way to go, and you get used to it by doing it.
Thank God I'm already an idiot, so I can probably succeed very quickly.
Oh
I put the math in
goodness.
method acting.
Oh my.
All right, next one. Who's doing next one?
All right. So Scott Adner asks, if given the offer to voice Phoenix Wright, would you accept?
That is okay. So this is like one of the strangest questions that voice actors get is, would you ever be willing to do blank? And the answer is yes. The answer is always yes, because we're like, yes, that would be employment. Thank you. Yes, I would like to be employed.
That
Like,
is
I-
not the answer that I expected.
I mean, well, like, genuinely, like, I don't really know anybody who's just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm just simply too important to do this thing that pays my bills. Like, it's like, yes. So, like, yeah, of course I'd play Phoenix Wright. He's a cool character. I've never played the series. I know basically what it's about and what it's like, but yeah, I don't think I'd be the right choice for him, to be perfectly honest. But thank you.
Man points at other man, says objection, and throws papers. That's
Can
it.
do that. I can do.
Objection! I don't have paper.
Overruled.
There we go.
Paper.
Okay.
We have another. We have a question with another person who has no name. What is the most underrated band that you think deserves a plug?
The most underrated band?
Yes, like music
Band.
band, like.
Oh,
mm.
oh, dang. Underrated? Jeez. I don't know. I don't think I've, they're so underrated, I can't remember their name. Hang on a minute.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
God.
That's terrible. Hold
It's
on.
the best
a
kind.
minute. Wait,
So
I'm looking
underground
it up.
that you can't even.
Oh, gosh, what? Wait. Oh, this dang keyboard. Okay, The Frights. I think they're cool. So I would say take a listen to The Frights.
Will do.
Spooky. Appropriate for this month.
Hey.
Scary skeletons.
I'm going to Google them right now. American surf punk. Oh my goodness, I actually like this type of music.
What?
Ooh,
There you
hang
go.
on.
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna do the one after the one that's coming up. So who wants to do the next one?
Billion.
Yeah, who's gonna do that one?
I can do it.
All right.
Okay, the Spillion asks, my question is, how long did it take for you to feel like you were a professional or successful voice actor?
It's ongoing. First of all, I consider myself unprofessional. That's just no. I would say, on average, it usually takes around like 10 years before you find of like actual work before you feel like, okay, I feel like, say, I'm doing this for a living. I don't have a side job anymore. I think I can go around saying I'm a professional. That's usually, on average, what it takes for most people. But there are people who've been doing this for longer than I have, who are just constantly suffering from imposter syndrome and going, oh my God, when are they going to realize that I don't know what the hell I'm doing? I just got super duper lucky. Oh God. So it's going to be an individual thing for everybody. For me, it's just sort of, this is the thing that I'm used to doing, so I feel comfortable saying that this is what I do for a living, as opposed to, working at a different job and then saying like, and I do voice acting on the side. Like, it feels a little bit more like, this is my life. This is what it kind of all revolves around. So yeah, I would say it definitely takes a number of years before you can really feel comfortable for the most part.
All right.
Very
So the
very
next
nice words.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the next one is from a mod. Hi, my name is Maud. I just want to say that I love you, Ben Diskin. Heart, heart, heart. I was wondering if there's anything you are fanboying over right now. If there's a character you feel like you relate to. I hope you're doing good. Lots of love from Norway. Heart, heart.
Aw, well, thank you so much. That was very kind. Yeah, if there's anything I'm fanboying over right now,
Not at this moment,
This
but like
very
I mean,
moment.
at this period in time, nothing particularly new. Yeah, I guess not. No. That's such a terrible answer. It was going somewhere, and I was like, no, there really isn't. Yeah.
And if there is a character you feel like you relate to.
I mean, well, okay. I always feel like I relate to Haida from Agretzko. That's nothing new. But yeah. I guess it would be that. So I hope that. Sorry for such a terrible answer to your question. It was such a politely worded question in the first place. So, to hi from America.
Murica.
Merca.
All right, who's doing the next one? I call the one after.
I'll do the one after.
Nah.
I wonder why.
Okay, I'll just do it. What's your opinion on Kamui Miracle, Elson Wong, and other Beastars fan dubs?
And if you don't know, Kamui Miracle is a Beastars YouTuber who does a lot of analytical stuff and also does some dubs. Elson Wong, he does his own comic, but he also does some dubs of stuff like Beastars and other stuff. And then there's fan dubs.
Like
I'm
us.
We all kind of-
familiar. I'm familiar with Elson. The first guy you mentioned, I don't really know who that is, so I can only talk about Elson,
yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, like I just slammed my knee into a mic stand. Good job, Ben. Anyway, yeah.
Wait, hold up. Who did that?
Sorry. Anywho, I think that it's tough to say. So some fan projects I think are like super high quality, and it's clear they put a ton of time into it, and others it's just somebody with a microphone just sort of saying words into it. So fan dubs can really vary pretty widely, I would say. I don't tend to really look into them as much as I used to. Like, I used to watch Team 4 Stars Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but now that that's over, it's kind of like, well, that was it. But yeah, I think that I will say one thing about fan dubbing. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but there is this kind of weird misconception that some people have, which is it's like this springboard into the professional industry.
Oh,
which
no.
it really isn't.
Yeah.
There was somebody who I was friends with for a little while who did some of this stuff, and I asked them about that, And they said, oh, if I actually book professional voice acting work, it's in spite of this. It's in spite of the fan projects. Like, I don't put them on my resume. I don't tell anybody about this stuff because I'm actually worried about being viewed as unprofessional for having done this stuff. And so it's unfortunate because it's this unfair stigma that can be attached to some of that stuff. But there's some legitimately talented people who get their start doing fan works. So, I mean, like, it really depends on like how the individual person responds to being on it. Like if they're like, yes, I'm going to tell everybody about this and try like carry on like I'm the greatest actor in the world for having done this thing, that usually gets kind of frowned upon. But if it's just this fun thing that you kind of have going on in the background and it's really just sort of being extra practice for you, essentially, that's always good for you. So yeah.
And fan dubs get like certain fan dubs can get certain amount of views. Like for one instance, on my personal thing, I have a video of a dub of the ending to chapter 88 with the Riz thing. And that had really not so good editing. My voice acting voiceover in that was not very good. And yet it is at 53K.
Mm-hmm.
And then any other big fan dub thing that I see that is like really good and has a lot of voice talent only gets like a couple thousand. And I'm like, why? Why did this get 53K when others deserve more?
The YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, what I seem to notice is that one of your worst works will be your most popular. Like for me, I have a Gazelle with Fangs, the first one, at 5,000 views, which is like leaps and bounds over the next one, and it's absolutely garbage. I hate it. I've made another version which I want to have more views, and I'm making another one. But like the original's so bad and it's so popular, and I don't like that.
Well, it's also the reason why Werewolf is a part of this project.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
Yeah.
So we kind of have the same thing with episode 1 of the manga dub.
Yeah.
Manga.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you
a-
know what?
yeah,
Celebrate
5,000.
your failures because they always help you improve. So if that's
Yeah.
popular, then you
Definitely.
can just be like, you know what? The next thing I do, it's gonna be even better.
Yeah.
Yes, and it has been.
Um,
Everything after that has been better.
So
It
this
worked.
one. So for the next question, this is kind of a funny thing. So I thought this Google Doc was going to be put in your name and then the next thing was going to be your question, but it wasn't. So all I put down was Maya Amano. And so I guess I'll use this to ask the question that I mentioned just before the podcast starts. Basically, what is your personal views or like goals or like your God, I'm having a hard time explaining this, but like what is your personal things when it comes to just acting?
My personal things when it just comes to acting.
Like philosophy or
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Philosophy, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess. Gosh, I don't really know if I necessarily have one, but I would say the way I approach the characters that I play, if that helps any, is it's I always try to find a little part of myself that I have in common with the character and try to build from there. So, for instance, even if I'm playing somebody that's wildly different from myself, like if I'm there was this show called I believe this was Durarara. I play this guy who wants to murder this sort of unkillable female character, but he does it in such a way that it's like a sexual thing for him. It's like super, super creepy. So it's like he like has like this picture of her that he carries around in his sock and he's always like licking it seductively and then talking about how he wants to like murder her in some horrible way. And I'm like, okay, I have nothing in common with this dude. Like I don't do any of those things. But then it's kind of like, okay, well, have you ever been obsessed with something? Like, okay, even if it's like a video game, I know what it's like to be obsessed with something, to be constantly thinking about it, to have like, you close your eyes and you see things happening in front of your face. Like for me right now, this is embarrassing. It's the Agretzko mobile game called The Short Timer Strikes Back. Like I've been playing that so much that at night I close my eyes and I see like levels being completed and I'm like, yeah, that's what that would look
I need
like.
to
Even
play
though
that.
it's like,
I heard it's really
Wait,
good.
there's
it's
a
good.
game?
It's Candy Crush is effectively what it is. If you like Candy Crush,
Oh.
you'd like this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm like, okay, I know what it's like to be obsessed with something. And clearly to an unhealthy degree if you're seeing it when you close your eyes. So I'm like, okay, I can bring that part of myself into this character and connect with him in that way, even if the rest of it is very foreign to me. So definitely, it's about finding those connections between yourself and the character, and then only taking that portion of yourself. Like for instance, if I'm a nice guy. You don't want to hear that nice guy in this very clearly mentally disturbed, not nice guy at all. Unless he is supposed to be sort of like strangely charming in some way. You don't want that in there. So it's about learning how to turn on parts of your brain and turn off the rest of it so that it doesn't interfere with the character and you don't bring too much of yourself in. Unless the character is literally just you, and then it's like, okay, hey, 100%, let's flip that switch. Then it's go time, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you for answering the question. It's a question I'd like to ask to a lot of VAs or actors I know, because I always sometimes go, oh, how do I get the voice acting? What do you think about voice acting? I really want to ask, like, what is your personal philosophy on something on acting? Like, how do you view this acting thing? Because I like hearing what other actors have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to get a wide variety for sure with that question.
Yeah. All right, and the next one, I'll just ask the next one.
I'll ask the next one. I wanted to ask a personal question for myself first. First of all, how do you usually find a range for your voices? Is it usually just, vocal exercises that you find it best, or do you just try and find it?
Well, if you're talking about
trying with characters, yeah,
if you're talking about voices, like your vocal range in terms of that, as opposed to like pitch, like high and low. It's going to come from experimentation for sure. A lot of the higher pitched stuff, I figured that stuff out just by monkeying around with things while like watching cartoons or playing video games, just making bizarre sounds and seeing what tones I can produce. And then it's about figuring, can you talk through that tone, or is it just simply a noise? And then you eliminate the noises and just keep the ones that you can talk through, and that's how you kind of figure out the highs. Same thing for the lows. But yeah, it's definitely going to come from a lot of play, lots of stretching, so to speak. So like figuring out, all right, well, the deepest I can talk like this without doing something strange with my voice is probably down here because I'm opening up my throat. However, if I want to pull it even further back, I have to really widen everything and pull it slightly in at the base. And then if I raise the tongue in my mouth up to the roof, it creates an extra echo chamber that creates this sound. Right? So it's kind of like, okay, that's about as far down as I can get my voice without doing some sort of other type of voice. But again, it's constantly pulling and playing around and seeing what works, because like whatever works for me, you might try it and it's like a total disaster for you, or it totally works. Like for instance, I can't tell you how many times I have tried to learn how to do the Donald Duck voice, because here's what every tutorial says. They go, all right, you want to make this sound, and I'm like, okay, and now talk through that. And I'm like, but I don't know how to do that. So it's just me going, and that's it. And it's like, well, okay. Yeah, and it's like, well, okay, I can't make that work. So it's like, so clearly, if I ever want to do that voice, I got to figure out some other way of doing it, or I've got to just like find a better instructor who can explain it better than talk through the sound. So it's all about your own personal setup, basically, your own body to produce the noises that you want to make.
When you were going through the when you were going through the process of doing the deepening, the visual that I was imagining was just you slowly melting a little more and a little more each time. Just Ben becoming a puddle on the ground.
For me, it was more like his facial features got more sharp and defined to an uncomfortable degree.
He just became more like Shiro to me.
Character.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, this next one is from a Gren, to Ben Diskin. If the Agretsuko series was set in New York City, how do you think each character's personality would be different? We got this question the other day, and we were not making fun of it, but we were like doing generic Eastern accents, like, hey,
Yeah, tone over here, just like, yeah, We need a vacation.
That's what we were doing once we saw that question. But
Well, I guess the voices could be different. Sure. I mean, like the different accents.
they're all just like, hey Donnie, what do you want?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Drink some coffee. Have a boy.
basically it's. I think they just all sound like It's Always Sunny characters. I mean, that's Philadelphia anyway, but close enough.
yeah.
No, yeah, I would say, boy, if it took place in America, the only thing that I would see being really different is maybe there would be a little bit more of a focus on American work culture, which is slightly different from the Japanese stuff. But at
Yeah.
the same time, there probably wouldn't be such an emphasis on karaoke, and I feel like you would lose quite a bit with that. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a
also
lot.
think
There's
it
some
would be-
karaoke stuff.
I also
here.
think it'd be
There's-
very interesting to have like the OTM girls thing, because in New York
Oh,
City
yeah.
it will probably end up just being like jazz or something, because New York is a hotbed for jazz
Ah.
instead of
Ooh,
kawaii
jazz.
metal.
Jazz was it would be no different. Ton would just be voiced by Danny DeVito. That's
Already 10 out of 10 change.
Imagine
Alrighty,
Danny
so-
DeVito going metal
Alright, next
screaming.
one.
This next one is from Rhiannon, like the Fleetwood Mac song. They have been a bassist for 8 years and wonder if
Oh.
you would try and learn the bass line Haida does in season 3 of Agretzko.
So I'm tempted to learn the bass just to be a complete piece of weeb garbage. uh, but I've never played a string instrument before, like ever, and that includes piano. I don't know. Woodwinds I get, but as soon as you hand me something with strings, I completely go. I don't understand how this makes sound.
So you can
So-
play the saxophone?
I played a little tiny bit of sax once in my life, but no, I was a clarinetist when I was a kid. And that's one of those things where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't remember how to play any of the notes now, but I bet if you put one like a reeded instrument in my mouth, I could at least like make noise come out of it. A guitar or a bass or any other string. I'm just like, how does this, what? So I don't know. If I did ever learn, I would want to do more than just the bass line thing that Haida does in season 3. I'd like to be able to maybe play a few chords.
I feel like this goes without
when-
saying, but a good amount of us actually play bass.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sid
we have a bass
got me to
rule.
learn it.
I'm
How hard is that?
All
F
your
chord?
bass are belong to
Okay.
us.
In terms of learning the bass, it's easier. So
Oh.
Yeah,
it's
literally
really
just
easy.
do a little bit every day, or just like have it near you so you are always thinking about it and you're always wanting to screw around with it. That's how I got sort of okay at it, and
Yeah.
I started
it's
like
really
2 months
weird.
ago.
I just have
Yeah,
a
he
crap ton
started-
of
I
instruments in
remember
my
when he
room.
started, he barely couldn't hit a note, and now he plays freaking Muse songs.
Not
So-
really.
Yeah, if I could show you all my room, I have 2 acoustic guitars, 1 electric, 1 bass, a full drum set, and a piano, and I'm Mr. Music Man, and I don't know how to play any of this.
Is that a flex?
But here's
It
the
is a
real
flex.
question. When you play bass, are you a slapper? Do you slap?
Yes, I
Yes.
can
Very
slap.
good.
Are you slapping
I haven't learned that yet very well.
cars?
All right.
Ah,
We'll do the next question after that card.
I'll do
Shout
this
out to
one.
the car.
I'll do-
Shout out your car and slap.
Yes.
Nice.
You just after you learn that F chord, you just need to jump cut around your house, going yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I'll do this one because I haven't said a question.
I'll do the one after.
Okay, Javi phrased this a bit weirdly, but I believe they're asking, do you mainly enjoy voicing anthro characters? Do you have a preference for canine characters? And out of the 3 you've done, which is your favorite? Haida, Jack, or Shiro?
Geez. Okay. Well, I don't actually, believe it or not, despite the casting that's been happening lately, I don't actually go out of my way to find these characters. It really is just a coincidence. But I'm always happy to play, an anthro character as long as they're interesting and they're fun. Yeah, let's see. I guess I would say my favorite out of the 3 ones that you guys listed would probably just be Haida, because it's pure acting. There's no attempt to put on a voice. It's just being that character. And that's, to me, that's a different kind of enjoyable from playing somebody who's wildly different from me. But I feel like I'm most at home there. I hope that answers the question.
Even though this is
All right.
Beastars, I do have to say Haida is my favorite role that you've played.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. This one is by Beef. Beef is on the server here. My question isn't really related to Beastars, but what are some things that you would consider red flags in voice acting work or acting work?
Okay, boy, I wish I had context for that. Do they mean
I'm
like
guessing maybe for like work or something. That's all I was
Like
on. That's all.
something that turns you off, I guess, like something really iffy.
Yeah, things like you don't want your employers like doing, I guess. I don't know.
Gee, well, that's kind of rough. I would say, I guess if there's any like red flags that you should be aware of in like the professional industry, because it is very different depending on whether you're doing, some small indie project or something for like a huge corporation. But I guess, hey, read your contracts, kids. I guess I would say that. But I mean, just in general, in the actual recording process, the worst things ever are, I would say, directors or producers who don't have an understanding of what the actor is doing, because sometimes you get lucky and you play a character that's just your regular speaking voice and it's pretty straightforward, and other times you have to talk like this for about 4 hours, and when you do that, yeah, that's
My
really
throat
brutal.
seized up for a second because of that. Ow.
Yeah, so that's a thing that we sometimes have to do. And so when you have, like, say, a director who's asking for like a million freaking takes of like one line and you're killing yourself, oof, that gets hard, because then, I mean, what you're supposed to do is be like, hey, listen, this is really painful, I need a break. But a lot of us are, the typical timid actor who goes, oh, I want this producer to like me so that they'll hire me again. Yes, sir, yes, I can do another take, even though I'm not really capable of doing that. There was one game that was so bad that I coughed up some blood.
Oh my
And
God.
I kept
Jesus.
going.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's yeah. Those, I guess that would be like the really, but that's basically it, though. It's very rare that you like run into like some sort of a bad person doing this who treats you badly. That's pretty unusual. So I guess that would be the only red flag I can really think of. I hope that answered the question.
I've
Figure
got
it out
this
well,
question. Okay, this is from Jorgi. He says, can you please ask Mr. Ben Diskin how he feels about the H memes? If you
I will
are
provide
aware
you-
of them in the
okay,
first place,
Give
that
me a
is.
minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I
Yeah,
will
you better share
provide-
one of these, because I'm not sure. I mean,
Okay.
I'm picturing something. I think I'm wrong. I hope
I'm gonna
right.
post. I'm gonna post the emoji
Oh,
form
no.
of it.
Not that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, what does this mean? I have no idea what the H means.
I
Okay,
created this
so-
abomination.
It's a
Yes.
combination of the dancing H meme that's just there, and also some people just go when something happens.
You go,
They just go. It's a stupid internet meme. Yes, that dancing
Oh.
H.
How do you
Okay.
feel?
I actually don't think I'm familiar with that dancing H. So yeah, I'd need to like Urban Dictionary this thing and be like, what does this mean? Please
What is the
explain.
dancing H?
It is
Yeah.
too zoomer for us.
Ruben, that's for sure.
Literally just the letter H. There's a
were you-
whole subreddit about it.
It's too
Oh,
much.
okay.
r/the letter H.
I was saying, were
Yes,
you
this is
thinking,
what
you were
humor
thinking
has
of like,
evolved into. It has devolved
Yes.
into a single letter of the English alphabet.
I was gonna say,
E.
we're not,
How is
We're
this
talking
about the-
evolving, though?
It's
But
literally
I feel like
E
this
and
has been. Do you remember like that weird meme with like the frog on the unicycle or something?
Oh,
and
here
it
comes
was-
the
yeah,
Yeah,
boy.
boy.
Oh, shit, what
Yeah,
up?
okay,
Yeah.
that's
Bad
just as
boy.
stupid as this. So I don't think there's been a de-evolution of anything. I feel like it's just a flat line. It's just been like this for years.
Here
Yeah,
comes
there you
that
go.
boy.
no.
Yeah,
Well,
here
this one
comes
had
that
some
boy.
consistency, didn't it? This is just a letter.
S, what up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
H. Well, I kind of formulated the meme template though, which is find any page with Jack on it, replace any speech bubbles with H, and then cover Jack's face with the crying Jack image.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then, good
Welcome
on
to
you,
the
buddy.
internet. It has weird ass
Cool.
humor.
Even we don't understand it, and we made the thing.
You mean
Yeah,
we have
right.
weird ass humor because we created it.
Hey-o.
I think the original image is from page 10
The
of
Onion?
153.
It's the onion.
The
chapter.
onion.
Yeah, it's Onion.
Yeah, it's the ending
And
chapter.
Jack goes, "How
Ah.
can you
Oh, no.
say that? How do you know that?" And just I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
People thought
Okay.
it was funny, so I just
Let's get past
took
this
the letter
the
H.
discussion.
Yeah.
We
At
have
first
to
it was H,
leave
now it's
this meme
Quaker.
talk to talk about another meme. Okay, so our friend Lima Beans, he's one of our community mods. He asks if you originally auditioned for Jack, when you did audition for Beastars. But then he has another question, which I will say later once you reply.
Okay. So, yeah, no, for Beastars, this was kind of a weird one. I only auditioned for 2 characters. It was the only 2 sides I got, which was Legoshi and Louie. And that was it. Then I got an email from Bob about he runs the studio there at SDI where we record this stuff, and Bob reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, we liked your audition, but we went with somebody else. But we do have a different role, and we wanted to know if you want to be on the show." And I'm like, "Oh, yes." And he was like, "Great." And then he didn't tell me what it was, and I'm like, "Well," and I wrote back to him like, "Hey, so who am I gonna be?" And he's like, "Bill the Tiger." And I went,
Oh my god!
Oh, would you look at
okay.
that?
And I'm just like, and I sat there for like a good, like literally the weekend, obsessively going, Bill, 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 really, Bill, 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 Bill. Oh, okay. And finally, I like on Monday, I wrote to him. I said, "Listen, I don't normally do this, but I feel like I need to turn this down. I don't think I'm right for this role. I feel like you can get somebody better, and this is a really cool show, and I just don't want to be like the weak link of the cast. So please consider someone else for this role." And he wrote back to me and he said, "Well, okay. I mean, if that's really how you feel, I don't think you'd have been a weak link. But hey, there is this other character that your name also got floated around for. He's Legoshi's friend, the dog. His name's Jack. Would you be interested?" And I wrote back and I said, "I could nail that role. Yes, give him to me." But in a more professional way. And that's how I got the role of Jack.
Of course.
That's
What's the
great
other
to
part of
learn.
the
Okay, the
question?
second half of this question is one that I think we're all wondering the answer to.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Ben Discman or Ben Biscuit?
Biscuit. Or biscuit.
God.
Oh God.
Why?
The Discmans
so,
have failed.
Take a look through our roles. Real
Yes,
quick.
I appreciate the effort that went into taking that photograph of me that I never agreed to let anybody take. That's on my Wikipedia page and photoshopping it onto the Discman thing. That's pretty funny. But I gotta give props to whoever said biscuit because that's
Okay,
that is one I do
that-
not get very frequently. So
Biscuit
That's-
Diskin.
That's
Yes,
our friend
Biscuit.
Pervaz from the Kamui Miracle Dubs. But yeah, so I'll let him know that he is in your favor.
Okay,
Gren
there you go.
Griskin.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah, we
also
have-
Gren Griskin, which came from.
I mean,
one
it's
of
usually the one I
questions.
usually get is the one that I probably shouldn't say on this podcast because it involves a naughty swear.
I think I
Um,
know where you're going.
Okay, then there you go.
I came up with one myself. Quinn Tristan, just a wholly different name.
Wow, okay.
How far are we going to go down this rabbit hole?
I
We're
don't know. We're just
Ask
stupid.
Lugosi. That's his job.
On behalf of all Project Cherryton, I'm sorry.
No,
for
Orion, did I
this.
just hear you say what I thought you said?
I said,
Excuse me for a second.
Okay,
Oh,
Orion,
Ryan,
could you repeat
anyway.
what you said?
ask Lugosi. That's his job.
Whenever
No!
I said go down the rabbit hole.
Yes,
Uh,
we elaborated on that.
Yeah,
too
we
much.
get it.
Now
yes.
Funny.
Just my audio just freaked out apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, it does that when around me.
Okay,
Oh,
I have a.
There's no more questions now. What?
I kind of want to talk about Agretzko because I know this is like a
Okay.
Beastars thing, but Agretzko is also cool. Season 3 of Agretzko, am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
things
very-
happen.
Yeah.
I am so
would
sorry
hope.
for that. My little audio interface here literally fell off of my desk.
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yes, I was
Okay.
like, oh shit.
Hang on, let's do a sound check. You tell me if this all sounds normal, okay? Talking, having a
It should be good. Werewolf recording.
Wow.
Werewolf recording. It should be fine.
Yeah, like I'm hearing fine stuff.
Yeah, I'm hearing fine as well. Yeah, it doesn't have any problems on my end.
My audio just fell.
That was a good one, man.
Like fell off the table.
Okay. Rowdy was running away, get it?
You know, whenever I was watching season 3 of Agretzko, I wanted Haida to be like the main focus, and I'm happy that he is. But what about that? What was the person's name? The crazy fan. I don't think he even got a name.
No, he's just called the Unhinged Fan. That's all he
Oh.
kind of does.
Box
Wow.
cover guy.
Ooh.
I call him Exacto Knife.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Exactamundo, yes.
Oh boy.
I was actually like really surprised because I was watching this with my mother, and I was watching the third season because that's kind of the thing that we do. We watch Agretzko, and I was thinking, okay, this is gonna be cute and funny. It's gonna be haha funny metal, and then this dude just comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my god, this just got crazy. And then like the last episode just got wild.
Yeah, I mean, well, if it's kind of creepy, but like if you rewatch season 3, there's I forget which episode it is, but it's the one where Haida follows Retsuko on the plane to Hokkaido just to see because he thinks she's being like sold into like sexual slavery, basically.
Oh god.
And then he realizes she's in like this band and she's up on stage in this like cutesy outfit singing songs. He's like, oh geez, and he like bumps into this guy and goes, sorry, and leaves. And the guy he bumps into, that's the Unhinged Fan.
Oh,
my
man,
god.
So we see him as early as
Foreshadowing.
that. Yes,
That's
so
actually
it's
some
like, it doesn't-
crazy foreshadowing.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like it didn't come completely out of nowhere, but it is that sort of thing of like if you're really paying attention, you go, "Oh my god, he was there the whole time."
That's
Ugh.
really cool.
amazing.
Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Okay.
All right.
Alright,
That's it. That's it for the questions from the fans.
I
there was
should
a bunch-
probably say this. So there is one person who asked a question that Ben Diskin is not allowed to answer by contract. There are many, so I'm just gonna say that. So yeah, okay, carry on.
Sorry.
There were a bunch of questions that were either how do I get into voice acting, or stuff that probably legally couldn't be answered because of contracts.
Gotcha.
So
Oh, yeah.
if your answer was not on here, I apologize, but it couldn't be done.
I'm scrolling through your Twitter right now trying to find something that I'm looking for. I'm trying to pull a Sean Evans here and pull up something from your social media that I can ask you about.
Oh, okay.
But
The
I just
answer is
can't
because I was drunk. That's
So okay,
Um,
well, I can't find it like explicitly, but you
Okay.
just did like a text post on Twitter that was
Oh,
like
yes.
Agretzko and Haida talking, and
Uh-huh.
Agretzko goes like, "Don't make me mad or I'll yell at you," and then Haida goes, "Joke's on you, I'm into that," or something
Yes.
along.
yeah.
Context, please.
Oh, there is no context. No, it's just
Come on.
it's just the fact that because like the cool thing about this series about Agretzko is that at first, like in season 1, you get the impression that the person that Haida thinks Retsuko is this goody two shoes, punctual, like hard worker girl who brings smiles and positivity into everybody's life. And then at the end of the season, he's like, but I don't really know you, and I guess I have to learn about that. And but then in season 3, we find out the real reason he's into her is because he sort of sees through the cracks in her mask to who she actually is. And ironically, the person that he really is attracted to is who she is, this loud, angry girl. And so, like, no, that's just my interpretation of their relationship. Is basically, she's like I get mad and I yell and I'm mad, and he's just like, oh yeah, that's hot. that's literally the entire quote. That's all that is. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
Okay, lack of context is now the best context.
So
that actually leads me into another thing. What do we all think about Haida and Agretzko sort of getting together at the end of this?
Dude,
Are
honestly,
they?
like,
I see. When we recorded this, Patrick Seitz, our director, he was like, "I think that they're together," and I looked at him. Well, I didn't look at him. I was recording this remotely, but I said to him, "Dude, look, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm just asking for it because, all right, at the end of season 1, I was like, oh, maybe. And then the Christmas special hits and it's like, no, she straight up says no. And I'm like, dang it. But then at the end of the Christmas special, they're walking home together. Oh, nope. So, and finally, I'm just like, okay, you know what? No, I do not buy that they're together. I think what season 3's ending really is they are now friends. They're now actual friends, as opposed to just like somebody I know from work who I talked about how much work sucks and then leave me the hell alone. We're punching out, buddy. Now it's more like I think they're actually like more genuine friends, and I think that's where it ended. I don't think they're a couple at all.
That's interesting because a lot of people that I talk to who watch Agretzko's say that Haida and Inui are actually like a better couple.
So, here's, no, they're not. And it's a very simple reason why Haida isn't into her, and it takes 2 to tango. And it's the same reason why Retsuko and Haida are not a couple, because Retsuko isn't into him. So, I mean, unless, usually what it takes for somebody to really change their opinion of you is to see you in a very, very different light. And there needs to be some kind of, like, large action that takes place that makes them see you very, very differently. For them to and like that has not happened with Retsuko and Haida, and I don't think that it would have happened with Haida and Inui. He's not into her, and sometimes you can't control who you like. And even though she's honestly on paper she's a way better catch than Retsuko is, like this lady's mature, she's smart, she has her S together, like she's cool, she's into some like a lot of the same things he's into, and most importantly, she's into him. He doesn't have to, like, fight to get her to give him a chance. She's already, like, all over that. She's like, yes, I would. I do want a slice of that Haida pie. But he didn't want to give that slice up. He's like, nah, you're cool, and I like you as a friend, but I just don't see this, which is exactly what Retsuko does to him on a constant basis. So, no, I don't think they're actually such a great couple.
No, Haida and Tadano, however.
Oh my God, Jake.
Everybody's favorite crack ship.
I'm scrolling through your Twitter and I'm noticing a lot of Haida Tadano stuff.
I think I retweeted like 2. So I don't know if that's a lot.
lot?
Yeah, I mean, like
I've seen a lot more than 2. Wait.
Well, there's this guy. What is this? It's like at Dovries, I believe. Doevries, and like they have, I feel like the best. Like most realistic interpretation of that, because here's as far on the LGBT side as I think the characters reasonably go. I feel like Tadano could be pan, and I feel like Haida is Retsuko-sexual, but maybe he's like there's this guy and he's really cute and this kind of confuses me. That's as close to that as I could see him getting. So I feel like they did a good job of like summarizing this like very confident Tadano and this very flustered and deeply sexually confused Haida. So that's but that's like about it though.
Yeah.
So pretty much a lot of the people that would probably be listening to this probably know you for Jack from Beastars, Shiro from, or whatever you pronounce his name, from BNA, even though I'm not, even though I don't like trigger animes. It's just a personal thing.
Great, I'm offended.
And
how does it feel being an immortal being?
And also Haida from Agretsuko. But obviously, those aren't your only 3 roles. Obviously, you have done work like since all the way back in like the 1990s, if I'm remembering.
So, yeah.
Like I remember just glancing at Wikipedia because I'm like, I should learn more about the people that are beyond the podcast, and it's like, so you were in Kindergarten Cop. You were
That's right.
one
of those little kids. One of the
little kids.
You
were also something that probably a bunch of people that are listening in, if they had a childhood with Cartoon Network, you were also number 1 in Kids Next Door.
Yes, I was number 1 and number 2.
You were also Joseph Joestar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. That I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that needed to be said for all the JoJo fans.
Get it out there.
All the JoJo fans that are here.
This is starting.
I actually forgot that you were the voice of number 1 before the podcast thing. Then I posted this in the chat like yesterday, but I also saw it beforehand. Someone sent me this clip on Twitter and it's of number one going, as you can clearly see, LeBron James. And I'm like, wait,
yes.
that's Ben.
You
Wait, I
remember
forgot that's
recording
Ben.
God, that was a while ago. Holy cow.
Yeah.
So how was it like? How was it like meeting LeBron James?
Oh boy, let me tell you, he's way shorter in real life. I actually stand like heads and feet above him. Yeah, as you can clearly see in this picture. I also have a big view of his kneecaps since I'm also number 2.
Well, an obvious thing. How is it like been voice acting and doing acting for pretty much over 30 years?
It's good. It's been fun. I hope it keeps going. Yeah, it's weird because this is the thing that a lot of parents put their kids into and are like, you're gonna be a star. And I'm really lucky that my parents were not like that. So like when I started doing this stuff, it was always very much like, hey, sweetheart, we don't expect anything of you. We just want you to maybe earn a little bit of money that we can put aside into a bank account for you to earn some interest so that when you get older and you want to go to college and get a real job, you'll be able to afford college. And that was it. So, like, and anytime anybody would ask me, like, on the campus, like, wow, are you, like, a millionaire? Do you have, like tons of money? I'm like, I don't know how much money I made on this movie. It went into some bank account my parents control. I don't know. But, yeah, it's strange. Because most of the people who tell me that, oh, dude, I grew up with you, are people who are basically my age. And I'm like, what? Oh, my God, how old am I? Am I, like, in my, 60s? Or is it, oh, that's right. No, I've just been doing this since I was a little kid. And that's why that's, okay, so, yeah, we're dodged a bullet
Technically,
there.
I think most of us here are, like, what? Like, 20?
I'm 22.
20.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
so
legally a child.
technically, if we were on Cartoon Network, you would have been our childhood if we watched Kids Next Door. I don't know if I watched
that is
it.
true.
I don't
Oh,
remember
yes.
I don't remember my childhood. I have bad memory.
I remember seeing it, but
Whenever
it
you
wasn't
fucked
said,
up.
so.
whenever you said star, like want to be a star, you sounded a lot like Kamiya.
Kamiya?
The
Kamiya from
dude
Agretzko.
with tone, the
Tone
sidekick
suck
friend.
up.
Yeah, the suck up.
Oh.
Meerkat. That's
Yes.
who he
Yeah.
is.
Sorry,
Wait,
I think I need to bring something to attention for the viewers. Right as Werewolf said that Ben did Joseph Joestar, someone liked one of our tweets named JoJo Watch. Like literally the second it happened.
They have logged on.
The JoJo fans are onto us.
You're listening in.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of a question I wanted to have. What would you say is your most rabid experience with fans of your work?
Oh
boy.
gosh.
Because
Rabid?
everybody knows like JoJo fans can be a bit intense, so can furries in general, you know.
Oh.
A lot
yeah.
of fan bases can be kind of devoted.
Yes, we can.
Well, yeah, I would say probably. Okay, boy. Yeah, I feel uncomfortable answering that because I don't want to make any group of fans feel bad.
If
Oh,
you
I
don't
know-
have to
yes.
answer it if you
You
don't,
don't have
need
to
to.
answer that.
Okay, I'll pass on this, but to be perfectly clear, the worst experience for me is like basically like a 1 out of 10 on the intensity scale. Like none of them are so bad that I'd be like, okay, let's talk about insert fan base here. These
Okay.
people are monsters. Like I don't have anything like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
Don't have a box cutter man in real life.
No, I
boy.
don't have anything
Oh.
like that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know of any real voice actors that probably have that type of fan base. Maybe, I don't know, Matt Mercer. I don't freaking know.
Possible. I
Oh,
don't
wait, you're voicing Stitch?
know. Well, yes. I'm
wait,
well, kind of. I'm the voice of Anime Stitch. So basically, when they
Anime
get Chris Sanders, who's not only the voice of Stitch but also the creator of Lilo and Stitch, to do that voice, then like I'll be the guy that kind of call in and be like, hey, can you come on in and do your impression of this guy? And I say yes, and that's so I don't like saying I'm the voice of it's no.
Oh,
I'm
well-
the second choice. I'm the silver ribbon. I'm the silver.
Well, how
medal
do you
for
feel
Stitch.
about doing an impression of somebody else's original work? Like,
Oh,
of
it's. I
somebody
mean,
else's
it's
voice?
fine. It's. I view it as an opportunity to put my own spin on the character because I am terrible at doing impressions of people. If I just happen to kind of sound like it, I guess, yay. But otherwise, no. So it usually just winds up me just doing whatever I feel right is right for the character, and then hoping and praying people are okay with it.
Yeah.
Are you stitching Kingdom Hearts, or was that the manga?
What?
Kingdom
Say
Hearts.
Sorry. I said, were you stitching Kingdom Hearts, or was that his
No.
usual?
That's Chris Sanders.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah,
Oh,
but for all
okay.
like the big projects that are like super official, they get him. But
Right.
like if it's like an
Of
anime,
course.
then they're like, we're not going to be able
Right.
to get this guy to drop what he's doing, like working on the Croods, to come in for like $75 an hour and reprise his role. Like that's not going to happen. So yeah.
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 Oh, a couple. Whenever we were doing our questions, we came across this Twitter called Jack, or Yellow Lab Jack. It's like an RP type of thing. It's SFW, of course. We wouldn't show it if it
He's
wasn't.
just always in character as
Yeah,
Jack.
he's just
Beastars.
always in character, and it's wonderful.
Oh.
Speaking of Jack Beastars, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
What is the inner monologue of Jack Beastars?
And his last name as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh
what's his
shoot, we
last
forgot
name?
one more
Oh.
question that we had written down.
You did?
Yeah, the very bottom.
Oh.
Oh,
How?
How?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a little inside joke. Ben Diskin, how?
I'm
Oh.
guessing that would probably mean, how did you get on this podcast?
Yeah.
How did you get here?
Somebody tweeted at me on Twitter and said, "Would you be on our podcast?" And I said,
That was me.
"Okay."
That was
Actually,
that
if
would have
you
been
wanna
W
hear-
quiz.
If you
There
want to
you
hear
go.
the exact moment that actually happened, it's
Oh.
going to be in the previous episode to this podcast. We haven't released it yet, but if you want to hear our live reactions to you agreeing to be on the podcast,
yeah, we were talking about like something in 193, and all of a sudden W Quiz comes in and is like, guys, he said yes, or something like that.
Last time on the Cherryton Podcast.
Whoa! Guys!
10%.
Guys, I'm
What?
sorry to interrupt, but Ben Diskin just fucking DM'd me.
What?
What do you
All
say?
right.
Oh my god.
Oh,
my
man.
God, he said yes.
He said,
What?
when do you want to do the podcast?
Yes.
And now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
I went
It's
full
kinda
Crash
silly.
Bandicoot. I was just like, whoa!
Yeah,
So,
It was weird.
everyone previously-
if the people of the podcast already don't know, yeah, we have Ben Diskin on the podcast. If
What
you
we do?
already haven't noticed.
Yeah, an
Hi.
hour in.
I'm that guy what plays the dog on Beastars. Hello.
Yes. We're getting close to the end of our time. We got what 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
We
yeah.
don't, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of questions besides the stuff that W Quiz has that are like kind of just dumb.
I have like
Okay.
a large list of joke questions that I was writing as I watched BNA.
Oh,
Because
good.
like 3 or 4 days ago, I watched BNA like in one sitting.
Yes.
And like as I watched, I just typed out bullshit, and that's
Bring me
Uh,
your stupid questions. I will
some of these-
answer them to the best of my abilities.
okay.
Some of these are pretty good.
So the first one is
Okay,
how.
all right. First off, have you ever sneezed so hard that your vision got foggy?
How dare you ask such a ridiculous question? Yes, though I have.
Here's one.
I
If
one
given
time
the
yelled at a stupid human like you so hard that my vision started having little tiny spots appear in front of it. I believe my
Happens all the
retinas were
time.
becoming detached.
Oh,
That's gotta suck.
if the spots
Your
get dark,
retinas.
you're probably
Um,
passing out. By the way.
I'll ask the next one. If given the choice, would you rather win another Emmy, an Oscar, or a Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Award? Why? What?
Absolutely the Kids' Choice Award, baby. Hell yeah.
Why was this a question, Bill?
Okay. What is your favorite Little Debbie registered trademark snack? We are not
Oh.
sponsored.
Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on what it's called. Shoot. They're like the little W snack cakes things.
Like zebra cake.
Ding dongs.
That sort of thing?
No, they're like
Swiss rolls?
square.
No, not
Cosmic
square.
brownies.
No, cosmic brownies are brownies, dude, not cake.
I don't know any of this.
Yeah,
literally
Yeah,
six-
because you're in Germany. Because
I'm
you're in
like
Germany.
6,000 miles. But we have Milka chocolate, I guess.
The
Why?
birthday cakes. It's just the birthday cakes.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Here's one. What kind of music do you listen to? Have you heard of AC/DC, Satana, The Cars, and Wham?
I mean, yes, I have heard of all of those, and I get the reference. Very funny.
Good God,
I would
dang it, Will.
But yeah, I have heard all of those, and I listen to mostly like punk and grunge, and a
Yes!
little bit of metal.
Yes, I have won.
Nice.
It's not like we bet on this, dude. What?
Yes,
hang
but I
on,
knew in my
hang on.
mind.
Okay,
You guys
here's
did?
a really serious one that I really, really need to know the answer of. Okay, is it Beastman or Beastman?
It is technically Beastman, but because it's kind of like when you use it to refer to a diverse group of people, like you know how we don't say like woman and human, we say like woman and human, so that's why we say Beastman in the show. But it is technically referring to, yes, a combination of beast and man. But yeah, you would say Beastman, or you know, this is my my Jewish cousin Shlomo Beastman. Hey everybody, I also turn into a wolf, but I have asthma. It's okay for me to make that joke because I'm a Jew, so therefore, hashtag not racist.
What is your favorite gimmick account on Twitter? Because we have a gimmick account person on here on the server. We have Light, who runs images that precede legendary events.
And then we have Jack.
Yeah.
I guess mine might be normal cat pictures, if you guys have seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen a
Okay,
bit of
yeah.
that, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it is basically, I think what they do is they take, you know how like sometimes people will like use like what's that called, the panoramic shot, and like a cat walks through and it like creates this weird ass looking like creepy centipede cat. It's basically a collection of images that are like that, where they're like all just slightly messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, those are great.
They're, like AI distorted and
Yeah.
stuff.
I believe it's called @normalcatpics.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These
Okay,
are John Breeder stuff, yeah.
I just searched it up in Twitter search, and the third tweet is a fursuit. So, yeah.
What?
That's a bit about Twitter.
Here's one thing from Sippo, which is something that I'm surprised that we didn't get in the thing. Is there's been a lot of games that there's a lot of games and stuff that you have voiced in. You were an antagonist in the Tony Hawk Underground games. I forgot their name.
Oh, Eric Sparrow.
Eric
Yes.
Sparrow. You were in a bunch of others, and Sid's question was, what's the difference between like voice acting for a game and voice acting for something like a film or a movie or a TV show?
Sure. Let's see. Voice acting in a game is kind of its own thing, because what you're trying to this is specifically if you're not voicing the player character. Games tend to have a lot of directions, right? Where it's like, oh, if you go over here, you can do the thing. You might want to go over here and do that thing. And so, like, that's not how most people talk to each other, right? Like for instance, if you're having a conversation with your friends, you don't like just randomly go, hey man, I heard there's this really cool thing that's going on over at 7-Eleven. We should probably go to 7-Eleven. You guys want to go to 7-Eleven? Like you don't talk that way to people. But like in a game, there are always those constant reminders of what you're supposed to be doing to progress the story. So you have to figure out a way of bringing a sense of normalcy to that, especially since a lot of games, especially nowadays, don't have like super cartoony, zany performances. It's very like, hey man, how you doing? Yeah, we should go take care of something. It all sounds like that because
Wait,
they're
you
going
sounded
for
like
this very
Jonah then.
grounded. Thanks.
I agree with that.
But my point is like that's really the big difference is figuring out a way of sounding natural when you do these very unnatural things and you make like effort sounds and stuff like that. So yeah.
And obviously for like a game, because of there's a lot more stuff that can be said, there's probably a lot more lines that need to be recorded than before something like a film, movie, or TV show.
Absolutely, especially with a film, before you actually film whatever scene you're going to be doing. First of all, you're probably going to be doing like 2 or 3 scenes like for the whole day, just because of how much goes into setting up all the cameras and getting the lighting right, et cetera, for each one of these things. And then you'll do it multiple times from different angles with different cameras, but instead for like when you're doing like say a motion capture video game, which is going to have that grounded performance, you get like 20 scenes that you're going to be doing that day, and you have to be more or less off book and ready to go. And sometimes you don't get the scripts until like the day before, so you have a very limited amount of time to learn your lines, get them all down as best as you possibly can, and then perform them the next day. So it's like extremely demanding. That
sounds extremely stressful.
Oh yeah, like I don't like doing mocap stuff unless I'm just like, I'm here too as a background character who just kind of waves. I'm like, yes, I can do that. I can wave for you and smile, no problem. But please don't make me record or like memorize like an Encyclopedia Britannica and then come out and regurgitate it all the next day. But that's what, yeah, it's a different experience, but it's also its own unique thing, and it's pretty cool.
At least you're not voicing Telltale games.
Telltale games?
Yeah, at least you're not actually. At least you're not voicing Telltale games.
They went bankrupt, by the way.
Oh God, that's so much.
Yeah, and I don't think that they motion capture the Telltale stuff.
No, I'm talking more about the fact that there are so many different lines that you would have to do because of all the choose your own adventure style.
Well, see,
stuff.
that's one of those things where it's like it's really on the director. The director carries big time the responsibility for all of those things because they have to know what choices have been made up to this point so that they can let you know what you're going to be doing because you're seeing the dialogue for the first time that day. So without their explanation of like, okay, so this is if this character agreed to do this but didn't agree to do this, this is your relationship with them now. It's now much more strained than it was in this other scene where you were maybe being a little friendlier to them. They've betrayed you. So this time we want to hear that hint of betrayal as you say these exact same lines because we're actually reusing the same dialogue. Like, it gets so complicated, and I'm just the guy who comes in here and goes, what do you want me to say? And like, that's it. That's my big responsibility, and that's how it should be because I know I wouldn't be able to keep track of all this stuff. So the guys who do this are, like, as directors, they actually do a lot more than people realize.
I could probably imagine. Rest in peace, Telltale. The indie scene is keeping adventure games alive. At least there's a new Sam and Max.
True that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to interject because I also had a question. One of my biggest menaces when trying to voice act is mouse clicks, and I was wondering if you had some kind of secret way to get rid of those, or if you just...
So keep in mind, everybody is different. I've had people who actually eat potato chips, and because they're salty, that cleans up their mouth clicks. For me, I don't lose any mouth clicks. I just sound like I have a bunch of stuff stuck between my teeth, so I don't do that one. Then there's the classics, which is like eating an apple, a green apple specifically, and the point behind that is you're getting something tart, which makes your saliva ducts temporarily kind of shut because it's kind of like when your mouth puckers when you get something sour.
Yeah.
They do that, so that reduces clickiness. But for me, it's just gargling some water. Just room temperature water, and that's what I do. But there are, sometimes it's just genetics. Like my dad, he's not really a professional voice actor, but he is still an actor, and once in a while he'll get auditions for voiceover roles, and he comes over to my place and records his auditions using my booth, and then I clean up his audio. And I've had him eat apples. I've had him swish around some lemon juice inside his mouth. I've had him gargle some water. Nothing works. And I'm just dang, I don't know what to do to fix this. But yeah, it's it's gonna vary. So I would say try one of those things if you haven't already. If there's anything new, and you're like, whoa, I've never swished lemon juice. Well, I've never had potato chips.
Yeah.
Give it a shot because maybe one of those things will work. But boy, yeah, it's difficult, and also we all have a lot of clicks just naturally.
Yeah.
And it's going to depend on the voice. So, for instance, my regular speaking voice from right here, it's not so bad. But as soon as I do one of these voices right here, where everything's very quiet and I'm close to the microphone, it becomes like way more. You really start hearing that stuff, right? But that's
it becomes ASMR.
When I hear a mouth,
exactly.
When I hear a mouth click, my body instantly tense up and I start like internally scream or sometimes externally scream. There's so many of them.
Externally screaming is my favorite term.
Externally screaming, aka screaming children. But yeah, that's so. Good luck. I mean, is ultimately what it is. What might help you is more projected voices and fewer quieter stuff because they're just easier to clean up.
Yeah, that's kind of my that's my deal on Jake the Silent. I do quiet voices, so it's for
you can't scream, you can't be loud in your voices, Jake. We know
in some other universe, there is always Jake the Loud. He cannot turn his voice down,
and he is not allowed on the podcast because he deafens everybody.
Jake does a pretty mean Smash announcer. That's a true statement.
Nice.
Here's one thing from wquiz's big thing of questions.
Okay.
You have voiced babies and you have voiced a 1,000-year-old wolf. What is your favorite age to voice?
Oh, favorite age? Oh, I guess probably weirdly the older characters are just more out of my wheelhouse and a little bit more fun to just sort of screw around with. So I would say the older characters, ones with like the gravelly voices that you don't really associate with my regular "Hi guys, me Ben Diskin" nasally ass voice. So yeah, I guess the older stuff. But I don't really have a preference. I like the ones that are just I'm more about the character than the character's age. So like I mean, there's a new short that just came out from Vivzipop. It's Zoophobia, and I play like this bully character named Rusty, aka Ruben, and he's like this total jerk, and I'm like, I like this because it's fun just being a complete bastard to like the main character just for no reason because my character's just mean. And there you go. But that's like I don't go like, I must channel my inner 16-year-old or however old he's supposed to be. It's just like, no, it's the character. It's fun. So yeah.
It sucks that I kind of refuse to watch anything Vivzipop, but that's not for the podcast.
Okay. We got something else though. We have a subreddit now as a quick announcement, and we also have some fan art for you, or like the characters you're voicing, specially made for the podcast, I guess. Oh, not specially made.
And
here comes everything.
Whoa!
And while that's there and posted, here's one last one that I feel like asking from the wquiz's big thing of questions. You have voiced animals. Do you own any animals, like any pets?
I had a dog. Unfortunately, he had a chronic back condition that was slowly but surely causing him to lose his ability to walk. And I had to have him put down this past May. So for a while, the answer was yes.
I am really sorry.
No.
About asking that question, then.
No, that's okay. I've grieved. I've moved on. I'm okay. So it's fine. But so I did. He was a really good dog, and he was a German Shepherd mix of either German Shepherd and Lab, or maybe people insisted it was Coyote, but I have never seen him behave in any way remotely like a coy dog or a full-blown coyote, so I kind of doubt it was that. I feel like it was Lab and German Shepherd. But he was like super nice, and he was a very good boy.
Sounds extremely fluffy. I bet he shedded like a nightmare, though.
Oh boy, yeah. You know what? He wasn't as fluffy as you'd think, but yeah, holy cow! Right. I still find like his fur everywhere, and I'm like, how I cleaned like so what? Dang! My wife out there with the Swiffer just constantly, and somehow there's some more of Rex's fur. I'm like, geez, wow. Yeah.
Well, we are nearing the end.
We are nearing the end,
so.
So can we get Can we get one thing before we go?
Well,
And
I was
that
gonna
is-
say one small question each from each person here.
Before we do that, can we get a chapter 15 warm proof of kinship from Ben Diskin himself? It's in podcast
Oh, you want
text.
him to do it? Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
If you need context for this, have you ever heard of Chills, the YouTuber Chills?
No.
Have you heard of
do you
number
remember
15 Burger King lettuce?
Yeah.
No.
That's
You
that.
weren't
that's
aware
what-
of the number 15 Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone else's foot fungus. But as it turns out, that might be what you get.
Okay.
You were
Okay,
speaking foreign language to us.
Yeah.
I
like,
don't
all
think you
right.
started it.
No.
Okay, so I'll just explain it. I'm gonna kill the meme. I'm killing the meme right here.
Okay.
So it's from a YouTuber named Chills. He does generic number like top 15 this, and this is from like his top 15 mystery solved by 4chan. And number one was about a employee from Burger King who stepped on some like a bunch of lettuce you would be for food. Like this is the food lettuce you get at Burger King or whatever. And the first line he would say is chapter 15.
Not chapter
Burger
15.
King?
No,
No, it's not.
number
It's number
15.
15.
Number 15. He has a
Gotcha.
very
Burger King
dull
foot
and
lettuce.
nasally
Okay.
voice.
I think I get it. All right.
Okay,
yeah.
Chapter 15 Warm Proof of Kinship. The last thing you want in your Beastars manga is a bloodthirsty tiger, but as it turns out, that might be what you get.
Not bad.
Awesome.
For having, like-
that was beautiful.
Was I
Thank
close?
you.
Yes.
For having like no
Yes.
idea, for
That was
having like
very
no idea what the
close.
meme was, that was actually
That
pretty
was,
perfect.
that was pretty damn close, yeah.
Very,
Ooh.
very good.
All right.
That's awesome.
Not bad for not knowing what the heck you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, we have shown Ben Diskin memes, and Ben doesn't understand. That's humor for you.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what makes it
so-
funny. Is
This is just a simple question. This end. Do you have like a favorite game series or whatever?
oh, Zelda.
It's generic, but
Ooh,
it's something
Zelda.
I like to
Oh,
hear.
straight
I
up.
love me
Good.
some Zelda. Been a fan since I was a little baby boy, and all the way up till now. Waiting for Breath of the Wild 2. Heck
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Oh, Ganon's gonna be fun with that one. Yeah.
Zombie Ganon. Yeah.
Any other
Zombie
small
Ganon.
questions from anyone before we decide to stop the podcast?
I have a
For
tiny
the-
one. Don't
Would you
spend-
look forward to possibly voicing JoJo again if you got
I
the
don't-
chance?
Well, I don't know if I would be doing that because I mean my part is done. So I mean, unless it's like a video game with like the character in it, I mean, yeah, I would do that. But so far, I have heard nothing about that. So
What I meant is like a different character, perhaps with a different kind of voice.
oh, just being on JoJo's again.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I would totally be interested in doing that. Sure.
That's good.
All right.
Okay. Tiny question. Favorite tongue twister.
Oh, gosh, I just had one too, like yesterday, and Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? I guess there you go.
Very well done.
Thanks.
Well said.
All right. Well, if
Take
there
it
is
Okay.
All right.
Have the
Final
questions?
words from
Final
Ben
words.
Diskin.
Thank you guys so much for having tuned into this really cool podcast with all these great guys. They work really, really hard, so you don't have to, I guess. Maybe.
Oh God, not
We
nostalgia
dub
critic.
it so you don't have to.
Jake Silent. Any last words?
Nope,
Okay.
I always got nothing.
All right.
Maya.
It's a me, Mayamo, Wahoo.
Orion.
Yeah, Colonel. It seems that I've talked to Nigel Uno, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining us.
Sheeb.
Hey, what's up, Ben?
Sid.
Am I late? Have I missed something? That's it. That's my final words. I'm sorry.
All right, my final words is go subscribe to my YouTube channel, like I always say in the podcast. wquiz.
Subscribe to Werewolf's channel. Also, yes, thank you for replying to my tweet.
No problem.
Thank you,
right.
everyone, for listening to the Cherryton Podcast. We hope you had a fun time, and we will all be seeing you next week. And
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.